Hey everyone, Brian here from Native Instruments. In this tutorial, we'll show you how to find your instruments and effects from Complete Start in Ableton, and how to use the plugin Complete Kontrol, which easily organizes all of your instruments, effects, and samples from Complete Start. I have a blank Ableton Live project open, and I want to add my first instrument. I'll first click on Plugins in the browser on the left. If this is your first time opening Ableton Live, you may not see anything in this list, so you will need to enable your Plugins folder in the Preferences. I'll click Live at the top of the screen and select Preferences. I'll select the Plugins tab and then click where it says Off next to the VST2 Plugin Systems folder. Ableton Live will now scan your plugins folder. The scan may take a moment, but once the scan is complete, all of your installed instruments will appear in the browser. As I mentioned previously, most of the instruments from Complete Start are run inside of Reaktor or Kontakt, so don't worry if you don't see everything that you've installed in your plugins list. I want to load Analog Dreams from the Play Series selection, which is a Kontakt-based instrument, so I'll drag Kontakt onto my first MIDI track. The Kontakt window should automatically open, but if it doesn't, you can click on the icon down below to open and close this window. You'll see in Kontakt's browser on the left the three Kontakt libraries I installed with Complete Start: Kinetic Treats, Kontakt Factory Selection, and the Play Series selection. I'll select Instruments below Play Series selection and double-click the .nki file for Analog Dreams, which loads up the instrument. With my MIDI keyboard connected to my computer, when I play the keys, we can now hear Analog Dreams. If you want to change the preset, you can click on the triangle, hover your mouse over a different sound category, and click on a preset on the right. Now let's load up a Reaktor instrument. I'll close out of Kontakt's window, go back to my plugins list on the left, and this time I'll drag Reaktor 6 onto my second MIDI track. I just want to play an instrument rather than build my own, so I'll select Play. All of your installed Reaktor instruments will be under the Player tab on the left. I want to load Laser Bass, which is from the Factory selection, so I'll click on Reaktor Factory Selection and double-click on laserbass.ens, which loads up Laser Bass. Clicking the area at the top brings up my presets list, and I can select a different preset. I want to add an effect to this sound, and I'll use Guitar Rig 6 for that. I'll drag Guitar Rig 6 from my plugins list to the right of Reaktor down below, which brings up the Guitar Rig 6 window. Double-clicking on one of the presets in Guitar Rig 6's browser loads up an effects rack. Now we can hear Laser Bass with an effect from Guitar Rig when I play my MIDI keyboard. Now that you've discovered how to find and use the instruments we just installed, let's take a look at another program we installed earlier, Complete Kontrol. Complete Kontrol is an easy-to-use tool that organizes all of your instruments, effects, presets, loops, and samples. Using Complete Kontrol with a Native Instruments keyboard also smartly maps everything to your hardware so you can find, play, and tweak all of your sounds in one place. Whenever I want to use a new instrument, I always load up Complete Kontrol first. I'll go back to the plugins list on the left and drag Complete Kontrol to the area on the right. If this is your first time opening Complete Kontrol, click the Scan Library button and Complete Kontrol will build its instrument database. The bottom left area of Complete Kontrol is your presets list. Every preset in this list has an audio preview, which lets you hear the sound without actually having to load the instrument. Just click on the preset name once and you'll hear the audio preview. To load a preset, just double-click on the preset name. Complete Kontrol also has an advanced filtering system, so rather than going through the entire presets list, I can simply search for a type of sound that I'm looking for. It will refine my presets list to only show me presets that match those characteristics. I can filter for bass presets that are synth, and now my presets list in the browser is showing me presets that match those tags. The first preset I load could be from Reaktor, and the next preset down could be something from Kontakt. This lets you find a particular sound quickly. This filtering also works on individual instruments. If I click where it says All Instruments, I can see all of my installed instruments. Let's click on Reaktor. Now Komplete Kontrol is looking for synth bass presets just inside of Reaktor. I can change my filtering to synth lead, and now my presets list is only showing me synth lead sounds in Reaktor. Included in Komplete Start is the expansion selection, which is a collection of almost 1,500 loops and samples. In Komplete Kontrol, you can easily access them by using the loops icon or the one-shots icon. I'll click on the loops icon, click on all loops, and select expansion selection. I can now filter for drum loops. When I click on the loop name, you hear the audio preview of the loop, which actually plays in sync with your project's BPM. From here, I can just drag this loop directly into Ableton. Another option is to double-click on the loop name and it loads into Komplete Kontrol's audio engine. The same goes for one-shots. If I click on the one-shot icon in Komplete Kontrol, I can filter for sounds like kick or snare. I can drag these one-shots directly into Ableton, or you could drag them into Ableton's drum rack to create your own drum kit. Now what are you waiting for? Start making some music with Komplete Start.